Hey folks, how are you? Mid-Guardian Workshop. Realize it's been a while. Lots of things going on, and I don't want to waste your time too much or make excuses. Just been busy. It's awful early. I don't have to work till about 12:31, and it's 4 a.m. Woke up, just couldn't sleep. Thought, you know what? Might as well at least say, hey, not dead. Didn't give up on it. Just terribly busy. Also got sick there for a while. It wasn't the CB, but had to go through the testing, and the first batch of tests I went through, they were hammering the machines with so much volume it broke. They didn't even know where my test results were in there, and eventually had to take the new test. It all came back negative, which is good, just a bad flu, and so that kind of put me down for just barely over a week, and then of course with a week around here of not doing anything but just being sick, things pile up, and you know, most folks get it. It's, you know, you run as hard as you can until you can't. I felt kind of bad that I haven't been posting, especially after twice saying I'm going to be consistent and haven't been. The stuff I have been doing, it's just, you know, time's precious, and setting up cameras and talking and, you know, that sort of thing. You know, just didn't have time, didn't want to mess with it. What I'll try and do in this one is just post some pictures, you know, somewhere in here of kind of what I've been doing, and of course they're not before and afters, which would have been brilliant on my part if I was that smart, but obviously wasn't. So some of it's done, some of it's not. Anyway, just want to say I'm not dead, and I'm not going to say I'm going to try and be consistent, because every time I do that, something happens, and it doesn't quite work out. So we'll just we'll go as we go. How's that? If you're still with me, thanks. Sorry. I know, you know, once you get to doing this thing, you want to see more and you want to hear me or whatever, and I appreciate that for what few viewers I do have, and thanks if you're still there. We'll try to get back after it. That's all I can say, really. Just been busy with and then of course the coronavirus thing hit, and I was dealing with YouTube, and I finally got that fixed. Been a couple of months, I think, dealing with that whole little music thing, and so the music will be back in this one, I think, and so I'm actually pretty happy about that. Another thing that even I was noticing, especially when I was down, I'm going to try and lighten it up a little. Excuse me. I'm going to try and lighten it up a little, and I'm not a big smiler. I used to be happy, I guess, at one time, some people say, but it kind of is what it is. I'm not even sure I do those kind of videos, and, you know, we'll just try to keep going and building things, and kind of show you what I've been after and what I've been doing. Thanks. Appreciate it for hanging, if you have. And really, I've got so much to do, and in fact, I'm looking around the shop and it's just a mess. When you work and then you work, you know, and you've still got a, whatever you want to call it, real job. And at my age, it's really hard to find all the energy I used to have 20 years ago, let alone 15 or even 10. But so I think I'll spend some of this time here this morning since I'm wide damn awake, and skull. Oh, that's good. That'll pretty much be the big end of this one. Awful short. You know, I'm still battling with that whole 10 to 7 minute video if you're trying to make big numbers on YouTube. I didn't get into this to do that. I know my stuff is a little long and I lose people because, you know, I guess some of this new generation, they just want to click and go, and well, then go, you know. I know I don't get the numbers and whatever. This wasn't about numbers for me. But if you are still there and if you do still catch it, thanks for hanging, and we'll get back to our normal gig as best we can. And really, good morning, wherever you are, and we'll see you again. Okay, so this isn't finished. Of course, I'm just working real hard, but I got, this is where Carrie's garden's going to be. We moved it from the other side of the barn. Now, I don't really do homestead videos, but this whole area had to be flattened, and it's not quite ready yet, but it's getting closer. But I carved that and put it up for her for the entrance, and of course there'll be a gate here. And so I'm going to try not to make you sick. I'm not real great at this whole walking and videoing, but this has been a lot of work. We're a lot of the times gone where we're going to put the new garden area for the main stuff. My Uncle Ron, he gave us this greenhouse he wasn't using anymore, and I didn't want it in the garden area, so I had to build this landing for it. And then it was on 2x6s, and the wind picked it up and moved it, and so my brother was down and he helped me put it on railroad ties and screw it down. And so now if the wind wants to take it, it can have it, I guess. If it's so strong it lifts it off them railroad ties. But this here, and it's not finished yet, but at least you can kind of see here that top one is, this is where strawberries are going to go. And of course it's all in angles so that I can tie it together and put water on the top, and then it'll run out the bottom down over there as it goes through. But they'll all look like this. And these are, we had our well done, and I don't know how much that wind I can just feel come up is making a mess of things here, but anyway, they'll have dirt in them and etc. So that's one more project that's been going, and that's the chicken coop over here and their little area, and we'll kind of get to that in a second. And then this shed's almost done, but what I've been doing is I'm sick of buying dirt, so I made an area over here where the fresh manures and things can go over here to sit because you can't use it right away, and then you can bring dirt here and, you know, and do your mixing and add what you need to add to it so that it's ready for planting. And of course, I've got another big pile I'll show you here in a second, but that way I can get in and out of here and till this up good and then be able to put it in. Now, on top of that, over here, and I haven't even started this area. Of course, the rooster's going off and telling me he wants stuff. But this is the little chicken house I built. And let's see if oh my goodness. I'll try to make you sick, not make you sick. So this is the little chicken house I built. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very good. But up there is the brooder. So you can, you know, put a hen or whatever, chicks in here, and then they can get out to this section, and of course the window opens so that they can get to air. Now I can see I got spiders moving in, so, and we were having a heck of a time finding chicks this year, so I don't know what exactly is going to go on there. We have a few hens that are still sort of laying. But over here, this area, once I get her all fixed up, is where the goat barn's going to go. And so it's just, you know, there's a lot. And then reworking the lawn and, you know, trying to stay on top of everything. But there's kind of a view of that. And I've still got some staining to do on the house. And over here is where I'm going to have to get some kind of a wind barrier thing on this camera. So I stage the horse poop over here with dirt, and then we'll get it. Whoops. Let's see here. We'll get it put over in the other area, and it'll just make more sense. And I've still got to dig up this whole line all the way to the barn there and get it moved over into this garden area. And this little composter I made a while back just out of some scraps and barrels, and that's an upside down parts washer thing, and I screwed it some boards, put some weight on it, hand crank, and you know, then you can just drop your stuff inside there, give it a turn, keep it watered, and then it opens on this end, and you can put the wheelbarrow in here. And I've got I don't know, augers or baffles or something, I don't know what you want to call them, inside there. So as it turns, it actually empties itself. Wow, that wasn't helpful. I'm trying to block some of that wind noise. But so that's just some of the bigger projects that I've been working on and trying to get ready. And so yeah, this is, you know, when you have property, as most people know, just a lot of work, lots and lots of work. So, but I am pretty proud of how that turned out. It's going to look pretty good once the fence is all the way around it. And that's been another thing, is just getting all our trees and stuff back on water, and the lawn back on water, and you don't want to do it too early or it'll be frozen. And let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. There we go. So, and she wanted a couple of flowers put in it, so, or leaves or something, and so I put one in there and one on that side, and it turned out pretty good, really, I think. Looks pretty good. And then once all this is filled in, I'll take these boxes and get them filled it'll just be easier to come in here and fill all these boxes. That big one's going over there by that corner, but I'll get them leveled good. As a little hint, when you're doing this sort of thing, especially in this country, see if I can get out of the wind a little, burn the bottom edge of your boxes, especially where they're going to touch the ground. Use a weed burner, something, and it will help them, you know, keep the bugs away, and they won't rot as fast. But let's see, I built those boxes and I had them on the other side of the barn there for, I guess it's been 4 or 5 years now, and they're still in pretty good shape. I reburned them again this year, but just a little hint there: if you're going to build wood boxes, burn the lower edge, at least inside and outside of your box, and that way it won't rot away quite as fast. All right, well, I didn't tie it to that other one, and we'll see if I can get it tied to that other one, the other video I just got finished with. If not, this will just be the next one. Alrighty, thank you. We will see you again, Midgardian Workshop.